Body want a nigga dead. Soon as I am born, I'm in debt. That's why I keep running from the feds. So if you shoot me, make sure that I'm dead.
I'm talking about sampling records.
What's up, YouTube? It's the Movie Detective, and I'm here to inspect, dissect, and give you an introspective look into the world of movies, TV, and anime. Today, we have a very special set of videos for you. I've been working really hard and been studying for a couple of these state exams. So therefore, I haven't had a lot of time to upload new content like those thick videos, those 30-minute breakdown theory videos. We don't have time for that right now. But at the end of February, early March, I'm going to come out with a whole bunch of new theories. I'm already working on some. I just haven't had the time to edit them and break them down yet. But right now, we're going to try something new. We're going to do a video of my thoughts, my quick thoughts on WandaVision, because I do have a lot to say about the series. So without further ado, let's just jump right into this video. I just want to come out at the top and say WandaVision has been an excellent show. WandaVision has been an excellent show with excellent performances. Let's just talk about the craftsmanship of the show before I get into all of the nerdy details in terms of the actual storyline, because there's a lot to say there. And I think the story is getting bigger and bigger as the weeks go on in terms of its implications to the larger, grander scheme of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But before I get into all of that good stuff, let's talk about the craftsmanship of the show really fast, because this show, between the surprises, those cliffhanger-like endings to where you really do feel like you're watching these, sitcoms, these great sitcoms. Sometimes the sitcom episodes would have those one-off episodes, right, where the issue in the show is resolved within the 30 minutes. But then sometimes the show would give you this treat of a cliffhanger. And the cliffhanger would, carry on to next week. You would have to wait, sit around like, damn, what's about to happen? Usually this show doesn't really give me any cliffhangers, but now it's giving me a cliffhanger. And that's what I feel like WandaVision is doing very, very well at. I feel like they're keeping us hooked with these awesome cliffhangers. I mean, the Pietro cliffhanger at the end of episode 5, I literally stayed up till 3:00 in the morning last night just waiting for this episode to drop because I wanted to watch it ASAP. I have not been excited for a show like that in years. Even The Mandalorian really didn't get me that excited to where I was, up at 2-3 o'clock in the morning waiting for the new episode to come out. I love The Mandalorian. Don't get me wrong. The Mandalorian is excellent. If you haven't watched any of my Mandalorian videos, here's a link. I'll drop it right here. Definitely go check them out because I do love The Mandalorian. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like I'm more excited to figure out and see what's happening with this WandaVision, because it's a lot of things going on between the Hex and Vision being dead, but not really, but yeah, he is. And then what the hell's going on with Pietro? Is he from the Fox Cinematic Universe, or is he is he Aaron Taylor Johnson just in Evan Peters' body? Like, did you see the horns? Is he the devil? Is he Nightmare? Who is he? At first I was like, okay, if Pietro doesn't use his powers, then he's the devil, or he's Nightmare, for sure. And this is, and they're having some sort of influence on Wanda, and this is how this all started. And I wouldn't be surprised if the guy who's the head of S.W.O.R.D. is really the one who's putting on all of this, and he's somehow working with the devil and this is some big experiment that they're doing. And I think by the end of this, they would have created mutants. I do believe so. At the end of the House of M comic, and I believe the House of M comic is definitely heavily influencing this show. And at the end of the House of M comic, spoiler alert. Okay, now we're gonna get into some spoilers. By the way, spoilers for WandaVision. I'm gonna have a spoiler alert in the title. So this whole video is gonna be spoiler heavy. So I don't want to have to warn you every time I'm about to drop some spoilers. Just know that if you haven't watched the show, get the fuck out of here and go watch the show because it's good. Okay, but in the House of M comic, at the end of the comic, Wanda says her famous line, no more mutants, no more mutants. Okay, well, in the MCU, we don't really have any mutants, right? They really don't call their superpower people mutants, and everyone's kind of gotten their powers so far in the MCU. They've kind of gotten their powers from Infinity Stones, you know, outside of the few like Hulk, Doctor Strange, and the few powerless Avengers. Everyone else, or Thor, everyone else really has gotten their powers from the Infinity Stone, like Captain America, Vision, Wanda, and Quicksilver. They all got their powers from an Infinity Stone. So they're not necessarily mutants. The MCU really hasn't delved deep into mutants. So if and with that being said, if Wanda does have her famous line at the end of the series, no more mutants, I don't think it's going to hit that hard. I don't think it's going to hit as hard. So I think instead of Wanda, you know, getting rid of all mutants, I believe Wanda will inevitably create mutants with this Hex situation. I believe that the mutant gene will awaken from the Hex situation. I believe Agnes, Dottie, Monica, the one girl from Thor 1, I forget her name, Darcy. Yeah, there we go. Woo, all of them are going to end up with powers and abilities from the Hex. I know that they said Monica's cells were changed because she went in there twice and you can't go in there again. Okay, but I think Wanda's expansion of the Hex is going to trigger even a quicker cell response. And then inevitably it will create the mutant gene. That's what I think is going to happen. And like I said, this is just my quick thoughts about what's going on with the show, because the show's crazy. It's all over the place. I'm going to make a longer, more extensive video once I get some free time and I can really delve deep into this, because I'm gonna have so much to say. If you can't tell, I really do love the show. The show's excellent. I mean, the performances by Paul Bettany are great. I mean, Paul Bettany, this is the best we've ever seen him in the character. I really feel like he brought the character to life. He added dimensions to the character we have no idea about. I liked how they wiped his mind. He doesn't even remember that he's an Avenger. He doesn't even remember all that shit. And I think that that's a very compelling, you know, source of television, to be honest. And television, no pun intended. You see what I did there. But yeah, so these are my quick thoughts. Tell me what you think about the comment section below. Do you believe that Wanda's going to create mutants? And do you and what do you think is going to happen next week? Like next week, we left off on a big, huge cliffhanger. We left on a huge cliffhanger. Wanda, like I said, expanded the Hex, and who's in, who's out. And another one big thing, okay, they keep on teasing us with who this mystery person is with Monica. Okay, you teased us twice now. Like, I was thinking at the end of this episode, by the end of this episode, we would see who the mystery person is, and it'd be like, oh, okay, it's Bruce Banner. All right, cool. He's doing something sciencey. Okay, Bruce Banner's doing something sciencey. All right. But the fact that they made us wait twice, I don't think it's gonna be somebody like Bruce Banner or some Avenger we've already seen who's pretty smart. I don't think they're just gonna go there. I think, to be honest with you, I think they're gonna introduce one of the Fantastic Four. One of the Fantastic Four are gonna be the scientist. Maybe he's even Victor Von Doom. You know, she could be going to see Victor. You know what I mean? And Victor's there. He's like, oh, yeah, sure, I can help you. I can help you. No problem. Or it's Mr. Fantastic, or Reed Richards. Sorry. It could be Reed Richards. I don't know who it is, but now that they teased us twice and they haven't revealed it to us, I think it's got to be somebody big. If it's not somebody big, I'm gonna be like, well, what the hell? Why did you guys wait 2 episodes to tell us it was Bruce Banner, somebody we already know and we already see? You know what I mean? It's got to be somebody new. Like, what's going on here? Who is this contact? And they had to be somebody who was around 5 years ago, because Monica hasn't been around for 5 years. So this can't be somebody kind of like new. It's got to be somebody who was kind of around 5 years ago, and Monica knew who they were. So I think it's gonna be somebody like a Reed Richards or Sue Storm, maybe even Johnny Storm. You know, all of those, all of the Fantastic Four members were very ultra super smart. Even the Thing, he was super smart. They were all scientists. They were all went to space, and they all got powers after the accident in space. And that's what Sword does. Sword is a entity who takes people to space, and they protect against threats in space. So it would make sense that the Fantastic Four was a part of Sword, and the Fantastic Four inevitably probably got into an accident in space or something along the lines, or maybe the accident hasn't happened yet, and Reed Richards is just going to be a regular guy right now. That would all make sense to me. I would love to see it. So what do you think is going to happen? Who do you think is the mystery person? To me, it would be more interesting if it was Victor Von Doom. If it's Reed Richards, cool. If it's Bruce Banner or somebody like that, I would just be disappointed. I would just be like, okay, cool. She knows an Avenger. Okay, but we already know that Monica knows Avengers. Monica grew up around the motherfuckers. She grew up around Samuel L. Jackson and fucking and Captain Marvel and shit. Like, we know that she knows these niggas. We know. So me seeing that Monica knows Bruce Banner, I'm gonna be like, okay, cool. Bruce is in the show, but Bruce, why the fuck you ain't go in there in that damn hex? Because you're needed. Everyone, if an Avenger shows up and they show up to help Monica, but they haven't shown up to handle this hex situation, I'm like, okay, what the fuck are you doing? Because do you see this? This is an Avengers level threat. Obviously, it just looks like an Avengers level threat. Look at this shit. It's a big red stadium. It's a big red football stadium full of people in peril. That is an Avengers level threat. You need to go handle that. And where are the Avengers, by the way? You know, where are the Avengers? Are they just, did the band break up for real? So after Tony got old, after Tony died and Cap got old, the Avengers broke up. They gone? They're not together no more? That's crazy. This show's crazy. I can't wait to speculate and figure out what's going on here. I think that Pietro is not who we think he is. But if he is Pietro from the Fox universe, I think that'll cause for a much more interesting path for the Marvel Cinematic Universe to take, because then we can introduce characters like Magneto, Professor X, all of these characters from the Fox universe, and we can pick and choose. Okay, hey, we like this person, we didn't like this person, so we can recast them, but we're gonna pick and choose which ones we like and we don't like, and we'll have Professor X and Magneto and maybe even Wolverine come over to the MCU, but then we'll recast everybody else. I think that would be nice. I don't know about you guys. There's some characters from the Fox universe that I definitely want to see moving forward, just like Deadpool, for example. And we know that Deadpool is coming to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it's going to be rated R. Let's go. And do you think Wanda is going to create all mutants by the end of this? So it's going to be like a reverse House of M ending, to where Wanda creates all mutants instead of getting rid of all mutants. Do you think that has some credence to it? Tell me what you think in the comment section below. I'm sorry for the quick video. I promise to make a longer video that's all extensive, that we can talk about some real theories and some real speculation, probably towards the end of WandaVision. So WandaVision has 3 more episodes left. We still got episodes 7, 8, 9. Hopefully they're longer. These episodes have been short. I know I really haven't said anything bad about the show yet, but there is things that bother me. I'll go into them really quickly right here towards the end of this video. All right, the one thing that's bothering me in this WandaVision shit is that, how do all of these people, regular humans, know exactly what happened on the battlefield of the of Avengers Endgame and Avengers Infinity War? First of all that shit happened really quickly. I'm, as an audience member, watching that shit like, damn, all of this shit is going down. I can't even really keep up with what is exactly happening. But it's like they all had a play-by-play. Does the MCU have Big News Morgans? Is Big News Morgans in the MCU, and he's just delivering news to all the regular folk, all the common folk of the events on the battlefield? Because the one dude, Wu, was like, when Wu and Monica were having that conversation, they was like, well, Wanda could have taken out Thanos on some 1v1 shit, and Captain Marvel came close. I'm like, wait, how do you know that? Were you on the battlefield, my guy? Did you have binoculars 100 feet out watching the battlefield? Because that's the only way you would have known that. It's not like they're reporting news or they had some cameras set up to where everyone in the world was watching these events go down. I mean, they didn't have no time for that. They didn't have zero time for that. So how in the world did all of that get, how does that become common knowledge? Just like because they've been in past Marvel movies, they just know everything that's going on with the MCU. It's like, nah, bro, you were in Ant-Man and the Wasp. You didn't see anything. You didn't see the battle at all. As a matter of fact, no one did. Darcy didn't either. Monica damn sure didn't. She was snapped away. So she shouldn't even been in the conversation at all. She was gone. And it don't sound like anybody briefed her on what the fuck going on. Literally, Monica. This is what happened with Monica. She woke up from the 5-year snap, went back to work, and they sent her on this mission. I mean, she had no time to figure out, oh yeah, well, Captain Marvel did this, da 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 da. She should be like, Thanos, who's that? What are you talking about? And that's where the writing is weak, but the writing is so strong in the sitcom stuff and in dramatic moments with Wanda and Vision that all that other shit doesn't really matter. So like I'm nitpicking, but that stuff does bother me. Like I hate it when these side characters are talking as if they were right there front and center on this battlefield and they knew exactly what was going on. That is just bullshit to me. I call bullshit on that. There's no way they would have known exactly what happened on those battlefields unless they had a character like Big News Morgans. And Big News Morgans, he's that character from One Piece that reports on all the news and sends it to everybody in the world of One Piece. So it actually they actually have a reason to explain why everyone in the world knows what the fuck is going on, because they got Big News Morgans. Unless we see a Big News Morgans character in the MCU, I really don't. I'm not gonna buy that every single person knows exactly what happened. But that's the way they're framing it, and it's weird because some of these characters got snapped away, and it's just like, yo, are you guys that lazy in terms of covering up your plot holes that you just don't give a fuck? And my thing is, those scenes don't even add anything to the show. You could have cut all that little banter out that, oh yeah, Wanda could have beat Thanos one-on-one. No, actually, really, real talk. If she could have, she should have, because she didn't. Not when he had that damn glove. When he had that damn glove, it was raps. It was a rap season for her. He flexed. He flexed on but not just on Wanda. He flexed on everybody. Then turn back time and then kill Vision right in front of her. She couldn't handle that nigga. Now, Thanos without the glove versus Wanda, I mean, damn, it's close. It's close, but I still don't think she handles him one-on-one. That's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. Thor couldn't handle him one-on-one. So you telling me Wanda could whoop Thor? Y'all telling me Wanda can whoop Thor? I mean, look, Wanda is strong as hell. She's the strongest person on Earth. Thor is a god, though. Thor is a god, though. He's a god, though. So I don't know if Wanda can whoop Thor. I don't know if Wanda can whoop Thanos. I think that's a silly banner and silly talk anyway. We saw what Captain Marvel did. Yeah, she ate a couple of Thanos punches. She ate his shit for sure, and she gave that nigga a thing or two. But he came back at her with a 2-piece biscuit and sent her flying with the hot sauce. With that Power Stone, sent her flying with the 2-piece biscuit and said, here's your sauce, ma'am. Bow. So that's it. I don't want to hear no more talk about, oh, so-and-so could have whooped so-and-so one-on-one. Well, we saw the movie and they didn't do it. So where was that at? Because we was waiting for somebody to whoop his ass and nobody could do it. So I don't, and Iron Man, Thor, and Cap. It was 3 of them. It was all 3 of them niggas. And we know all of them can go. We know what they can all do. We know what they can all do. And they couldn't handle them 3-on-1. They could barely handle them 3-on-1. So you telling me Captain Marvel and Wanda, yes, they're stronger than Cap and Iron Man. We get it. Cap is just basically he a superpower human. And Tony is human. All he got is his suit. But I think Tony did a better job one-on-one than any of the Avengers with Thanos, to be honest with you, at that end of the Infinity War. And that's when Thanos had like 4 stones. And this nigga, Iron Man, was keeping up with this nigga and actually scrapping, banging one-on-one. All right, I'm getting sidetracked because I'm so upset about that situation. I said this was going to be a quick video. This is turning into another 15-minute video. However, I hope you enjoyed it. Let's talk more about WandaVision, because as you can see, I have a lot to say about WandaVision. And let's talk more about the MCU. If you like what you see here, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more quality content coming soon to a laptop near you. Thank you for watching, and I've been the Movie Detective. I'm here to inspect, dissect, and give you an introspective look into the world of movies, TV, and anime. Peace.
I'm talking about sampling records.
Hopped in the booth, nigga, tell me what the word is. I won't sign a deal, they can't tell me what my worth is. My team deep, think my corpse is back. They say that real rap is dead, I think rap is back. Think that they lied to you, I got my finger on a pulse. Single for a little, oh that's little more than lost. Usain Bolt these jokes like relays. And in slow motion, catch the laugh on a replay. Just to tell you how I really feel, tell you how I feel inside. Do this for the feeling the feeling when you really die. I told my niggas take the cap off that. Pack the backwards, I might just have to backpack rap. Used to be scared just to play my music compared to the ones who do it. Wanted to be the best and see the future that I influence. And now I'm looking up and now they're giving up. And now niggas are starving and now that ain't enough. I mean, how many y'all niggas